The Empire, aka Wall Street, strikes back, this time against the Reddit group Wallstreetbets. And they're employing the help of legacy mainstream media in order to disseminate false information regarding silver in order to divert attention away from GameStop and the AMC stocks. Bet your Twitter and Facebook won't flag any of those articles for fake and misleading information. So millions of everyday lay Americans and some people from across the pond in the United Kingdom, and I've seen some people from Australia as well, have joined together in a Reddit group called Wallstreetbets in order to discuss and help navigate the waters of the financial industry, stock markets, and trades. But recently, several months ago, members of the group, which has now ballooned to over 8 million members, have all collectively decided to get together in a coordinated effort to turn the tables on Wall Street, who clearly made record profits during what was supposed to be a worldwide lockdown and economic depression, or at least job depression. World's top billionaires during what was supposed to be a lockdown made hundreds of billions of dollars. Off of what? And so the people in the Reddit group, Wallstreetbets, decided, you know what? They're getting rich while we're suffering, and they're hedging bets against the failure of other businesses. Let's turn the table, get what money we have from the stimulus checks and or the 2020 tax returns, buy some stocks in order to bet against them, turning the tables. So what a lot of Wall Street investor groups, particularly hedge funds, have been doing lately, especially in this market, is short selling, particularly in companies that they know are going to fail, such as AMC and GameStop. Betting that these companies are going to lower in price, their stock price, they'll buy it at a certain price and bet that it's going to sell at a lower price and make a lot of money if they get it right. So Wallstreetbets have seen what's going on, zeroed in on a particular stock, i.e. GameStop, and said, you know what? We're going to invest our money into this, pump it up. And while the hedge funds will lose so far over 70 billion because now the stock's going in the reverse direction, they're making tens of thousands of dollars. Some people have even reported making as much as $47,000 on Dave Ramsey's show. Why? Because they bought the GameStop stock at maybe $5 or if not $1 per share at one point, and it's gotten as high as over $400 a share. Last Friday, it was around $320. And so they're making out like a bandit. The goal is to take the stock as high as possible. You wouldn't know that if you were reading the media, all of legacy media. That includes Fox News, NBC, MSNBC, CNN, the Associated Press. All are reporting that the Reddit group has now turned their attention away from GameStop and onto silver in an effort to convince their audience and their readers that there's been a move, a shift. Don't buy GameStop or AMC, move it away to silver. Because this whole Wallstreetbets scandal has become national headlines, everyday Americans and some overseas who weren't even aware of what was going on or in on it now have caught themselves up to some degree of what's going on, and what the mainstream media and Wall Street is afraid is more Americans will pile on to what's already been happening, helping in the efforts. What better way than to deceive the audience that isn't part of the movement, isn't part of the group or following along, to think, all right, now the move is over to silver. Go invest in silver, stop investing in GameStop. But if you go onto the Reddit site, join the Wallstreetbets group, there's not a single chat or thread ever mentioning buying silver. It's GameStop all the way. Hold the line, they say. Now, because the stock has shot up over $330 per share as of last week, they realized that, okay, it's a little bit too high now for more people to just join and buy up lots of stock. Way too expensive for most people. So the game plan right now, and you read the threads, is to pump up AMC stock, which is currently as low as just under $14 a share. You can buy that up massively. They're trying to shoot that up to the moon. and then you sell the profits from that. Once the stock gets, right now the goal is over $100 a share with AMC, although there are some people talking about, hey, why don't, if we're going to do it for GameStop, let's also take AMC as high as we can. But others are shutting it down, saying, no, let's just at least get it to over $100 a share, and we'll see what we go from there. And once you get it over to $100 a share, if you're buying in at $14 a share, you'll see massive profits if you can buy up as many shares as you possibly can. Take that profit and now reinvest it into GameStop. No matter how high GameStop happens to get to that point, you should have more than enough to cover to buy at least a couple of shares, or at the very least get AMC up enough for you to at least buy one share. That's the plan. So it's obvious that the mainstream media is lying, with the only obvious conclusion is that they are in bed with Wall Street and these hedge funds. Same as these investor apps like Robinhood, which has really exposed themselves to be the sheriffs of Nottingham. Fake news has become such a cliche. I hate to use it, but this has really been an era of fake news because, again, you go to Fox News, Fox Business, CNN Financial, again, the Associated Press, USA Today, they were all saying Reddit group has now turned their attention to silver. That is not true. They may be using what is called a ladder attack in order to combat Wallstreetbets and its users to think that they're actually losing. So a ladder attack is something like this. When you notice that a stock is operating at a low volume, but the price continues to drop, that generally means that the hedge funds and or the institutional investors are trading small amounts of their stock to each other to drive down the price. High volume, on the other hand, with falling prices, indicates that retailers are selling off. But right now we notice that the volume is relatively low. Hedge funds are essentially selling their stocks at $10 a share to one investor, and then they go off to sell it at $9.50 to the next investor, $9 a share to the next one, $8.50 to the next, $8 to the next, $7.50 to the next investor, and so on if you get the point. The ultimate goal is to push the retail traders out, or they like to be called retard traders. Drive the price down so that people will panic sell, and then the investors will just buy back those sold stocks in order to cover what little losses they have, because they figured if they short sell right now, then it'll be pennies on the share, but it'll be much less than the money that they're currently losing. But the Wallstreetbets group, they see through this. They're posting heavily to hold the line, hold on to your stocks, do not sell. In fact, they don't even appear to want to sell when the GameStop stock reaches $1,000. They're saying even when it gets to 1,000, hold it. They want to go all the way. Bottom line, fake news is real. Again, I hate to use that term sometimes. It's been overused, but it appears to be real. It is an obvious false narrative being pushed across all of legacy media in order to try to control the perspective to keep the balances of power where they are. But the people are fighting back. Again, Wallstreetbets is aware of what's going on, and they're making their users aware. They're informing them which investment apps are putting a cap on how many stocks you can purchase, and just continually educating themselves. They're playing a chess game as well. They're in it for the long haul. We have a lot of people being red-pilled throughout the last year as the powers that be, whether it be in the media, the government, the medical community, now the financial institutions, are really trying to collude and overstep themselves. People are waking up to what's going on at an alarming rate. There's definitely a new war front being waged, this time on the financial front against Wall Street. And it seems as though mainstream media is now colluding with Wall Street and the hedge fund investors. Wall Street is definitely playing a dirty game in order to maintain its power, but the people now are starting to realize their own power if they stand united in a united front against the powers that be. You're seeing it with the rise of independent media outlets, especially on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, as they're getting more and more influence on individuals, everyday Americans, speaking directly to one another, as opposed to the legacy media sites, as Fox News ratings have started to plummet. CNN has also seen their ratings skyrocket at certain points after the Capitol riot, but starting to come back down to earth, and actually encouraging social media or big tech sites like Facebook and or YouTube in particular to try to squelch down independent voices. Hence why your support on independent voices and YouTube influencers are extremely important. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, like this video as well, comment on this video, share this video. This is Bruce the Boss Brooks reporting, and I'm out. Peace.